Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the printer patcher herself, Sandy Reevy.
That's quick.
It is episode 396, and let's move into the transits. We have February 26th, Thursday, Mercury stations retrograde.
Moving into water.
And Sandy's conflict day, Friday the 27th, Mars square Uranus.
Hard to be impulsive? Huh.
And Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus.
Return to ...
Then in Talisman times, we have a pre-sale to announce on the horizon, the Egypt retreat. And in our house, I have a birthday coming up. And you know what that means, a solar return. So a peek into my solar return this year to see what it has in store. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, printer patcher.
Thank you for that because, help, the printer's not working. How many of us can do that? I need help.
Right.
And you took me through the normal steps. Turn that off, turn it back on, and then it worked. It's like, oh my gosh.
And we made it work. We patchworked it. So, all right, let's move into the transits. We have a short week, and it starts pretty late on Thursday, February 26th. Mercury stations retrograde.
Yep, he's retrograding at 22 degrees Pisces, and he's moving back into water. So he's been in fire retrograde placements. There's three times a year, and there's 3 fire signs and retrogrades. It's called the trigon. But now he's moving into water signs. So he's going from fire is the question that Aaron Sullivan says when Mercury goes in fire. This is the last 6 times. How can my inspiration create my future? And now we're moving into water. And now we ask, what is the quality of my life? Right. What is the quality of my life? Rethink old habit patterns and emotional responses to life's challenges. Right. It's the desire to retreat. The desire to be quiet, to go into meditation, be great for any kind of spiritual practice that you need to pick back up. Because when it's a retrograde, it says we go back to something, we rethink, review, realign, remember. And it's in the spiritual sign of Pisces, right? The calming waters. Where can we go to go inside ourselves, and really we can use the word retreat instead of escape.
And maybe even a perfect word for this might be reflect.
Reflect. And that's a good word for you as we get to your solar return.
Yeah.
Because, this is a couple days before your birthday on March 1st. So therefore, you're going to get an early Mercury retrograde in your chart.
Right. We'll see how that works.
Yeah, so it's going to be a year of reflection for you.
Okay, perfect. So let's move into the next day and our final transit day to discuss, which is also your conflict day, Friday, February 27th. We have 2 transits here. Mars square Uranus is our first.
Yeah, and this happens in the morning, and, Mars is moving, in Aquarius, making a square to Uranus in Taurus. And so this is at the late degrees of 27 degrees of their respected placements of their zodiac signs. And, it's, hard to be impulsive. This is a question mark. I don't know the answer to this because it's Mars square Uranus is active energy, right? It's like Mars wants to poke a dragon, right? Some sort of Uranus that would respond in an unpredictable way. But they're both coming from fixed signs. And fixed signs are hard to move, right? And so that's why this kind of oxymoron of hard to be impulsive These are two strong planets that like to activate, right?
And act quickly.
And, that they want to act sudden, activate energy for maybe no reason at all. So this could be, an accident waiting to happen kind of comment. So on Friday, the 27th, let's be very cautious of your movement.
Okay. Will do.
Right? Yeah.
So let's move on to the second transit of Friday the 27th, Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus.
Yeah, and this is, return to what? Social agreements, writing an abstract, reform your words in a pleasant way. Venus is she's in, they're both in Pisces at 22 Pisces, exactly where Mercury was stationing retrograde, and Venus comes up and meets him at at his stationary placement where he was, pivoting. He isn't moving. He's not moving right now. And so, interesting that we had this, they were both conjunct because these two planets go around the sun. They're never in opposition. They're never in a trine. They're never in a square. You can get a sextile from them, but that's the widest that these two planets can get from each other. And so we had them together in Aquarius January 28th, January 29th. They were moving together January 30th, and we don't get them together again until October 7th. So this is not first of two, first of three. This is just one aspect that they're moving. And it just sounds kind of like there's like a possible apology, or again, when I said earlier about Mercury retrograding in Pisces, is there something you need to go back to? Is there a friendship because it's Venus? And I think that's actually what you're doing that weekend, right? Is the meeting up with friendships.
Yeah. I am. I mean, I'm traveling to Mexico to cheer on my soon-to-be brother-in-law in his Ironman.
And that's interesting. Is Ironman on Friday the 27th?
I think it's on my actual birthday on Sunday.
Okay. Because this Mars making that square to Uranus when there's an Ironman going on, that could, that might be kind of that accident waiting to happen, which is very apropos for something like that, right?
Right.
Physical energy in competition, kind of like the Olympics that we got going on right now, right?
Right.
So anyway, this is just what you have to return to. What do you have to go back to make and maybe the other thing you're doing is you might be going to look at, I'm talking about you specifically here,
right?
Because I know what you're doing that weekend is going to look at wedding venues, right? So that's kind of like you're returning to, because you've been to some of these wedding venues in Mexico. So it's kind of like you're
as a wedding guest.
Yeah.
Of course.
So anyway, that's just kind of Mercury's, depending on where Pisces is in your chart, you may have Mercury retrograde hitting a lot of your personal planets. And you can get that information with a quick call.
Yes.
That's
all right.
it. That ends our week, 3 transits. Compared to next week, oh my. So yeah, this is
we'll enjoy
relaxing.
The downtime.
Mercury also can stand for relax, right?
Yeah.
Read, R-E word.
Right. All right, so let's move into Talisman Times, where we have a pre-sale number 1878 being created Thursday, February 26th. So tell us about this one. To be blessed in my calling.
I am divinely guided and supported as I step into my public purpose. Good fortune aligns with my integrity. This is a fixed star placement. This is the fixed star Sirius. And Sirius is sitting at 14 degrees of Cancer. So we have the moon up there at that area right on the midheaven. So this is the public view, the publicity, the career path. And Sirius is the really, bright star. And it carries this, magical qualities that wants to be helpful, because it's part of the dog, the loyal dog. So, it's for helping others. It's for favors. It's for improving relationships. But this is to be blessed in my calling. In other words, to have a very generous, auspicious fixed star with the moon connected to the midheaven. So this is a nice one. And it's also, here with I sound like I'm talking like a dog. But the moon is making an application to Jupiter that is also stationing direct at the Jupiter's exaltation degree. I can't stress how important this one is. I wanted to talk about this because this should be a pre-sale. I mean, it is a pre-sale. And so it's available for someone that wants to pick this up to be divinely guided and supported as I step into my public purpose. Good fortune aligns with my integrity. So,
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. I really like this one. So I hope someone can grab this up. There we go.
So let's move on to the horizon, where we're going to remind you all that September 13th through the 26th is the Egypt retreat. There is more information on our retreat page. You can check that link out in the show notes. And you can also schedule a free retreat call with Sandy to discuss whatever it is, whatever questions you have about the retreat. It's a really wonderful way to get a secondary view of what this trip really will look like. Since it's been now 3 times you've been to Egypt.
Yeah, this will be my third. This will be my third. Okay. Yeah, in like a year and a half.
Right. Bam, bam, bam. All right. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. So let's move into our house, where I have a birthday coming up, which also means that I have a solar return coming up. The solar return is basically where the sun was when I was born, at the same degree, 11 degrees of Pisces, if I'm remembering that correctly.
You are right.
And then it's not always on the same birthday, right? It could be maybe the day before, a day afterwards, and it's not always the same time.
Yeah. I've never seen it at the same time. What you sometimes see is the repetitive of the ascendant, the solar return ascendant can be the natal ascendant occasionally. You're not getting it this time, which is interesting because I am getting it this time. Your birthday's on March 1st. My birthday's on March 19th. Right. So we are the 2 Pisces energies.
Yeah. So
you want to hear?
Yeah. So I also wanted to share, a quick view of what a solar return reading may look like for you. This specifically has to do with me and my chart, but at least if you're curious, and this is a really wonderful birthday tradition. My fiance does it all the time. It's one of the things that he really, really looks forward to, because it's an exciting process, because you have a horizon to look at, and you're not exactly sure how it's going to come into focus, but when it does, you're like, wow, that's super cool. So let's hear it.
So you're moving from 37 years of age to 38 years of age. And I do the traditional charting of annual perfections. And annual, every year on your birthday, you move and you perfect into another house. And you went from a second house, which let's just reflect for a moment. Second house where you were at 37 years of age that you're just finishing up, you're concluding that, was about finances, right? Second house, money, value. And not that you have to reflect on it, but very, very interesting that you had a year of that, right? And you could probably say yes, that was a big focus.
Yeah, it was.
And then we move over onto the third, you move on to the third house. And the third house is, I'll go over the list: siblings, school, short trips, the house of goddess, the house of neighborhood, and the number one is communication. So those are the themes, the main themes for you this year. And when we look at that, we see that the Leo rules your third house. And so that means what rules Leo? What planet rules Leo?
The sun.
So the sun becomes your time lord for the year. So where the sun is revolving, it'll be very interesting for you to watch when the sun goes into Aries for that month, or the sun goes into Taurus for that month. It's the sun. The sun gets the time lord rulership, let's say, holds the clipboard, holds your managerial properties for the year. You had the moon last year, and so the moon transferred over to the sun on March 1st. Your actual solar return time is Sunday, March 1st at 3:28 p.m. in Central Time. So that's when you would go into a small non-recorded or non-guided meditation, right? You're allowing your body, you're going to lay down or sit down or whatever, and go into a space of sacred blessings, and let your body do what it needs to do, because it remembers, it has the muscle memory and can remember that moment of birth. But what's interesting in your chart is, so first of all, let's go back to the third house. So importance of this year is how to redefine your conversation. Conversation around redefining your identity, aligning yourself with emotional truth. Now, the reason I say that, even though you're in a sun, the ascendant, the solar return ascendant is Leo with the moon conjunct your natal moon. So this is an emotional kind of year. Could be about motherhood, right? You motherhood or me motherhood. And I know that in this period, I'll be leaving, right? So I'll be moving to Ohio, right?
Right.
And so that could be that emotional that you and I have already experiencing as I get ready to leave you here in Chicago.
Right.
But it could also mean, motherhood for your own life,
right.
Because the moon is very, very, very prominent here in Leo, sitting on the solar return ascendant and reflecting your 19, the moon, your solar return moon is at 21 Leo. The ascendant is at 16 Leo, and your natal moon is at 19 Leo. So that from 16 to 19 to 21 is very tight orb that would have something to do with, moon, motherhood, right? Nurturing.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, but also interesting is the Mercury retrograde. You're getting the Mercury retrograde in this solar return is sitting right on your North Node. And North Node is really revisiting, because it's an RE word, right? Mercury retrograde, revisiting your mental connection to your purpose, right? Because North Node is, what is the true purpose? how can I connect with the role that I play in my life? Right? And you may meet people that will help you with that purpose. You may re-meet people that have helped you with that purpose. So very interesting that it'll be a year of, conversation, writing, teaching,
reflection on motherhood. Yeah.
And a bit emotional, right? Even though the sun is your time lord, the moon is very prominent because your moon is in the whole sign house of the third house. So, it's a good time to realign with yourself, on emotional truth, kind of show up in the world. It's it could be, again, the Mercury is renewal, rearranging, reorganizing.
And that to me also like shows a little bit where like if the moon is more of that feeling of like having maybe even like confidence in my emotional truths in order to shine my sun, my vitality and who I am and kind of be proud of that. That I can definitely see is something that I want, right? Even more.
It's like personal authority because it's sun. So it's identity. It has sun is purpose. Sun is confident, right? The sun is purposeful. It's the shine my light into the world, right? So it has to do with because it's reflecting of the third house. It has that communication and clarity about who you are and what your your personal authority. So, that's just a little bit about that.
Plus motherhood, which is, going to be really exciting.
Ooh.
So I'm excited. I think that I don't know what I'll do during my solar return time, but I know that I'm going to be at an Ironman competition. So maybe just give myself a few minutes of sitting down and silently meditating and calling in my year and my growth. I'm excited.
It's exciting. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And also don't forget if you have a birthday coming up and you want to explore what your solar return year is looking like, I'll put that link in the show notes for you all. And I'd love to also hear what you have in store for your year since I shared mine. So thank you everybody for listening in, and we will talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.